living in the country with limited internet access. Hey, you want to move out to the country and you're from the city and you're used to just having crazy, fast, unlimited internet. You get out here in the country and all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, what am I going to do now? Internet's pretty darn critical, right? I mean, we do everything on the internet, paying our bills and all of that. So what do you do? How do you get creative with dealing with limited internet access out here in the country? Welcome to Goose Pond Hideout with Rob. That's me. Hey, so you're out here in the country, all right, and you find out you ain't got no internet. So what are your options? What can you do? Because I've seen it happen. It happened to our neighbors down the road, and you know, they just move from the city area out here to the country, and then they find out that there's no really reliable kind of internet with unlimited bandwidth available. So what do you do? And you know, thinking back on it, when we moved here to this homestead, we moved in early 2014, and we didn't even have cell service at the time. I mean, you know, you'd walk around with your phone in the yard. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And we got no signal. We used to have to drive down all the way to the end of the road and go over, and we'd sit in a church parking lot so we could use our cell phones. And I signed up for satellite internet back in 2014. And we actually still have that today, and I'll explain all that and why that's, you know, maybe an option for you. Is the thing when we signed up back in 2014 is we had 25 gigabytes of bandwidth, which is not very much. And thankfully, they had from midnight till 5 in the morning was unmetered. So, you know, we would check our email and do, you know, social media stuff and that. And then when I would make a video for you, I'd get up at like 2 in the morning and you go to my laptop, which you saw at the beginning of the video here, and then I'd set it to upload and then go back to bed. And then after I got up in the morning, you know, then I'd put in the title and the description and do all that good stuff. But I would upload during that free time, because otherwise there'd be no way we could do it with just 20, because you use 25 gigs up in no time. Now, over the 11 years that we've been living here, we now have cell service. For a while I could walk around in the driveway, you know, with my phone trying to find it. But now we can actually sit in the house. They've put up a tower in that, because civilization is expanding our way. We're not out so far in the country like we used to be 11 years ago. And so now we have reliable cell service, but we still have the satellite. And back in the day in 2014 it was Exceed satellite, and now it's, I think they call it Viasat, however you say that, VIA. And the plan we have now, we have 60 gigs and that's it. There's no open window at night in that. So we still have really limited internet that we have to deal with. And I get pretty close to the 60 every month. I've never gone over, but I get real close, and I'll give you a little secret of creativeness that I do in a minute here. But let's just talk a little bit, you know, of how we've dealt with it. Is way back in 2005 is when we moved onto a sailboat. And you got to think of what the social media internet world was back in 2005, right? And on the boat, cell service was actually not much of a problem because you're on the water and water's flat. So as long as you're reasonably close to the shoreline, you know, we'd have cell service. If we went way offshore past the, you know, 7 mile, the curvature of the earth, we might have some trouble. But as long as you're pretty close to shore, anchoring, marinas and all that, you had good cell service. But what about internet? Now again, think in 2005, we didn't do much on the internet back then. Email, social media was barely existent in 2005, 2006, 2007, right? But we'd do things like we'd go sit in the parking lot of a big hotel, because hotels had free internet and they didn't secure them back then. Today now you need passwords and that, but way back 20 years ago we could sit in parking lots, we could go to libraries, so you know that's always an option, is going to a library and things like that to get your internet. But we didn't do much on the internet, you know, 20 years ago. Today now we do everything on the internet, right? I mean everything. Let me know if you still do stuff not on the internet. I mean, when was the last time that you wrote a paper check, put it in an envelope, stamp on it, of course you don't lick stamps anymore, and put it in the mailbox, right? I mean, I can't even remember the last time that I mailed a paper check in an envelope to pay a bill. You know, when do you know, have you ever paid those with regular checks anymore? We do everything online. So even when you live way out here in the country, you need to have reliable internet. So what can you do? I mean, if you watch YouTube videos, if you try to stream anything on your television, like YouTube or Netflix or Hulu or any of those, you're gonna, you know, bump up against the 60 gig limit on the satellite at any time. Now you could tether or hotspot or whatever they call it with your cell, because now we have cell phone service. But you know, that's, you get, even with unlimited cell phone, it's still pretty slow, and you know, hit your limit and then you get throttled, right? Even though they call it unlimited. So you know, you're really going to have a hard time. And the thing is, now my videos that I make for you, I'm using a Canon camcorder here, and I record in 4K now. Way back in 2005, YouTube didn't even exist, right? I wasn't even doing it. I didn't even start YouTube till 2007. And I think my first little camera that I had, which I still have packed away, that I bought at Walmart for like $35, shot at 360, right? That was like the standard way back in the first days of YouTube. And then for a long time I shot 720 videos, and then for many years, probably 10 years, 12 years, I shot 1080, and you know, a lot of people shoot 1080, which is fine. But today I'm shooting 4K, which is a tremendous amount of information. A 10-11 minute long video is like 4 gigabytes of information. Well, if our satellite, our internet that we have is 60 gigs a month, and there's 30 days in a month, that means we get 2 a day. Well, if I upload a 4 gigabyte video, I've used 2 days worth of data, right? So we can't do that. So how do I compromise? What ingenious thing have I thought up, that, because I'm so smart, right? Is remember the TV show MacGyver, where MacGyver always MacGyvered his way out of things and that? It's kind of like when you're homesteading, when you're living in the country, when you're off the grid, you know, whatever lifestyle you're living, you got to be a little bit MacGyver-y with things. So what I've done actually, which I thought was really creative, is, and because one more quick thing, is if I upload my 4K videos here at the house, even though I'm going to use like 2 days worth of bandwidth for one video, it takes like 2.5 hours to upload a 10-11 minute 4K video. You know, 2.5 hours. So what I've done is got myself a tablet, And I take this tablet and I put my video onto the tablet. And what's kind of funny about it is you actually can't watch a 4K video on the tablet. If you try to watch the video, it tells you it's incompatible, and it just plays the audio. Now I've looked, I could load up an app that will do the transfer, do the thinking, and make it available to play. But all I really do with that tablet is I load my video onto there and we drive to Walmart. There's a really nice Walmart about 12 miles from us, and we go into the Walmart, and maybe the wife has a prescription to pick up, or we pick some, we get some salad so we can have fresh salad when we don't have our own garden stuff and that. And we do a little bit of shopping, and I upload my video at Walmart using their internet, and their internet is like blazing fast. It takes 12 to 14 minutes to upload the video at Walmart. Now again, here at the homestead, it would take me 2.5 hours. But at Walmart, it's 12 to 14 minutes. So if you think about that, if I started uploading the video here at home, I can leave the house, go get in the car, drive out the driveway, drive to Walmart, go into Walmart, start up my tablet, upload the video, do shopping in Walmart, buy some cat food or dog food or some milk or cheese or whatever it is, and cookies, ice cream. Got to get some ice cream when it's not popsicles. We buy popsicles a lot at Walmart. And then get done shopping, get the video uploaded, get in the car, drive back home, pull in the driveway, walk up into the house, and the video would still be uploading because it's like a 25-minute drive there and back, so that's about 50 minutes. And then the 15, say 20 minutes, that's an hour 10, hour 15 minutes. And so we're not even, we're half the time. So that's how I deal with limited internet out here in the country. And I actually don't use a laptop anymore. That laptop that I had at the beginning of the video there still has, I think it's Windows 7, which they don't support anymore. And the battery's shot, so it always has to be plugged in. So I have a full-size big computer that I use for making my videos. I take them from the camera and put them in my editing software and clean them up and render them so I can put it on the tablet and drive to Walmart and upload it so for you to watch. And I do everything on my phone now. Now I'm sort of graduating to the tablet because my eyeballs aren't what they used to be, which is one reason I don't use a laptop anymore, because I've got a big screen monitor for my computer, and yeah, I know I could hook up a monitor to a laptop, but the cost of I don't need a laptop here at the homestead. When we lived on the sailboat, a laptop was necessary because we needed it to be portable, we needed to have a battery in it, and things like that, so we could go to the library, go and sit in the lobby in a hotel, whatever. You can't lug in a desktop computer and set it all up, right? So I hope that's helpful to you. Let me know. But limited internet is a big deal out in the country, and we do everything on the internet today. All of our car insurance, we do everything. You can't go to Costco without an email address and internet. Now they scan your phone. You don't even have a membership card anymore in that. So we're really diving into the internet world, and with all this AI and everything, it's just going to be more. So you gotta have good internet somehow out in the country, because it's all about freedom.